So if you've ever looked at a rundown property and wonder, could this be a gold mine or just a money pit? Most investors spend weeks guessing renovation costs, endless hours on spreadsheets. Meet Renoscope. Now, Renoscope is an AI powered property investment analysis tool that is built specifically for everyday Australian property investors. Now, this tool helps users visualize renovation potential and evaluate investment opportunities before making purchasing decisions. So it ultimately Renoscope answers the critical question, is this property worth buying and renovating? So it provides quick data-driven insights to help investors make confident decisions without spending money on professional services upfront. Now, quickly going into the dashboard, we can see that basically we set up a few projects here. And once we actually enter one of the projects that we've got already there, we can see that it's advising us on how much we are going to spend on the purchase itself, how much it could be worth, potential profit, etc. And then it's got a deal score at the same time. There's loads of different data here. There's lots of data, tips for the property in general, things to watch out for. Neighborhood score basically analyzes the suburb in which the property is purchased in. Renovation cost breakdown, which is incredible. Again, look, these are estimates, but it does give you a nice insight into what things are going to cost, kitchen, bathroom, flooring, etc. Cash flow calculator as well. So it's got a nice cash flow calculator here. Lets you know whether it's going to be worthwhile or not in terms of what you break down in costs versus what you're going to be making out of the project. Area snapshot is quite nice. Again, all about the area itself. How much do properties here rent for in the particular suburb, by demographics, etc., etc. So when you first start a project with Renoscope, you've got to put in the project details. So that's obviously just give it a name. Could be, whatever street you're projecting or whatever name you have for your project. You put the street address, suburb, etc. Advise it what kind of property it is, whether it's a townhouse, vacant land, etc. Press next, and then it's going to be basically advising you in simple terms what your plans are. So, are you looking to do a cosmetic reno, full renovation, so that lots of structural changes, subdivide, or keep it as is, hold and rent without major work? Typically, the most common would be a cosmetic reno, or full renovation. How's the property looking? So it needs a lot of work. So you just basically advising the system in terms of, just getting you a bit of an idea as to the current property status. So let's just say livable but dated. I'm going to put about 3 bedrooms as well, and put for 1 bath is pretty common. Press next. Purchase price. Let's just put $750,000. Renovation budget. You've got to give it your budget. So let's just say we go for a cosmetic refresh. And so we can also put a custom amount down here as well, because obviously this is just going by the presets. What do you hope to sell or rent it for? So let's just say we put down, so we bought it for 750. Let's just say we want to sell it for 890. Let's just say. You can also add further details as well, whether there's any known issues, termites, structural issues, because that does help the system as well analyze the entire, the entire, just for the report that it's going to come up with as well. So it assists with any kind of data that can actually interject. I'm just not going to add any at this stage. Just hide that. Press see my results. It's crunching the numbers now. And then once it crunches numbers, it ultimately just gives you a nice overview of how the project is looking so far. So this takes a little while. I mean, now it's done. So we've got basically a 770 spend. We've got 880, what it could be worth, and then ultimately potential profit, which is $30,000. And it gives you a bit of a range there as well. 5 out of 10, it basically says worth a look. So this is just the deal score, quite good. So if a deal looks really good, it will be like 7, 8 out of 10, etc., etc. Tips for the property, it just says consider increasing your reno budget a bit to cover unexpected costs. Check recent sales in the area. and that sort of thing. So we sort of go down here, and it sort of gives us. We've put in Elderslie, which is a suburb in Sydney. It's giving us sort of a bit of an overview in terms of the neighbourhood. So schools quite good, transport not as good, and I believe because there is no train station there in Elderslie, and I know that myself. Growth potential quite good, safety is fantastic. I know that as well. Amenities and rental demand is a 6 out of 10. So there you go. So at the end of the day, you got the renovation breakdown as well. So it's giving you a nice little renovation breakdown. It's mentioned here $50,000 because that's what the system ultimately recommends you spending on this particular property. But again, you could sort of change that around. Here you can actually change your renovation budget, purchase price, that sort of thing. And then the target price as well. So it just gives you things like what you would spend. So our piece is 770, but we have actually purchased it at 750. So obviously it's adding the 20,000 to the 750, and then what it could be worth and that sort of thing. So potential profit. But again, these are all very much just estimates, but it gives you a nice idea about what's happening with the project. Now, in terms of interest rates, you can sort of now, obviously, you've got a cash flow calculator, so we can go through that. Weekly rent, you're probably looking at somewhere around $800 a week. But again, you're still already in negatives there. So depending on, so that's your monthly mortgage, your costs, etc. It's giving you that in terms of your monthly income. So you're basically just spending $421, which is fine, which is a bit of negative gearing there, but you're spending roughly $421 a month holding this property, which is actually quite good from an investment point of view. Very hard to find positive geared properties now in Sydney, but 421 is actually really good, and plus you've got all that growth as well. So, and again, just going back there, so you've got all these different sort of stats and things like that. Now, area snapshot. This is something that you can actually load. And once you load it, it'll sort of bring in all the latest data about the suburb itself, which is really cool. And then it takes a few seconds to sort of load. And, so it ultimately just sort of goes through all this and sort of tells you what's been on the market and things like that. So, and it gives you the most verified sales in that particular area. And it utilizes sources like Domain, etc., to actually bring that kind of data to you. Yeah, so pretty cool. So that's the first stage in terms of the property, or how you would actually enter your property information into Renoscope. And then the next area would be to upload all your media. Now, in terms of media, we have lots of different options. So we have photos, which are the most commonly used upload. You then have drawings. So drawings is where you have floor plans for when we've got full renovations and you want to sort of have an entirely, you've got literally plans to build a new house, etc., or a new structure. And this is where you would upload your floor plans. Now, the reason why we do this is because the AI will be able to render these into a 3D model. Again, please understand AI is fantastic, and we have gone to lengths to actually be as accurate as possible. But there is always going to be that element of having to maybe give it a few tries to get it perfect. But it is as good as could be in terms of an estimate. It's really good. So you got property drawings, and then you also have sketches as well. So hand-drawn sketches, which is fantastic. Again, it does its best to actually render hand-drawn sketches to convert them to 3D renders. So give it a go. Give it a go for free. Just create an account, upload your stuff, see how you go with that. Visualizations. So once you've uploaded your media, you'll be given a whole heap of visualization options. You can actually drag images in. So you could sort of, drop your images into the box. So what I'll do is I'm just going to paste it in, go upload, and then sort of upload the image in there. I've just gotten a really rundown property to work with, as you can see. Very rundown. Okay, so I've sort of used an extreme example. Now, once we do go here, and we've got the one, in this case, I've only got one image here. I'm going to click on that. So we're able to now edit this particular or visualize this property in many different ways. So the most common, the first step I would highly recommend is sort of going to renovate is the exterior view, because this is obviously an exterior, um, shot. I would say go partial renovation, so new floors, fixtures, paints, and furniture. Again, that sort of means that it's going to do all the paint jobs and things like that. Style, so we can keep the existing style or go modern. If I went existing style, I would turn on the exterior options and sort of then say keep and repaint, or you can actually do a render or cladding update. It looks like there's a bit of cladding on this one. Cladding update. Outside, we'll put add a deck, and then landscaping, just go. We could go native, tropical, formal, go low maintenance. And then if we go generate that, it's going to now take that photo and give you a visualization of what it would look like based on the settings you've actually put into the app. Okay, and this is the first stage of editing. So, and what I mean by that is when it's renovated, okay, so now you've got a really nice renovated image of the property. So as you can see, it's got the old dump of a car still in the driveway. Yeah, so that's cool. But what we're focusing on is the property itself. Really nice. So that's a massive difference from the original image itself. So what we can now do is we can actually now use this image as the source image. So if you click on this button, it goes right up to the top as the source image, and now we can actually add even more edits on top of this particular image. So what we can do is we can actually now put, okay, enhance it, or time of day. We can actually make it like the morning, twilight, nighttime, etc. We can declutter, so we can actually, which means takes away a lot of that stuff around the around the house, which is, yeah, you probably want to do that. But enhance is quite nice as well if you want like a nice professional shot. If I went to declutter and press declutter this space, just interesting to sort of look into what it's going to do. This is a bit about AI. Sometimes it's you don't know what to expect, but it's great in that way because it sort of comes up with some great ideas as well. And this is the whole point of Renoscope too. So you can scope out different ideas. So there you go. So it's literally removed the car. It's cleared it all up. It's done a nice little job of, or hadn't done much of the landscape. It was already there, but what it's done is tidied up the place. So it said, "Not that car's going," so it's left, and it's a better shot. I mean, we've got an old little fence at the front too that does need changing. So what we can do is go back to renovate exterior, and we can actually then add a few more options as well on to the actual. We can actually go formal. We can do a lot more things here, or we could even change it to a farmhouse. So the team's working on adding a few more options as well, like adding your own custom options as well, like your own custom messages into the actual AI. But for now, we're just sort of keeping it nice and simple. So if we went to enhance, for example, or time of day, we could have a nice twilight scene. So if we did that as well and just sort of generated that, it's going to give us a nice twilight scene. So we just give it a few seconds, and that should come through. And so that's there. Just give it another few seconds just to show up. Okay, and there's your nice twilight scene. Very nice. The car's come back because what we've done is we haven't changed the source, see, because the source is up the top, and if the source is being used, the source photo has the old car in it. So what we should have done is gone to the recent one where we took the car out and used that as a source. And there you go. And then once you sort of then redo the twilight scene, it'll utilize the source image to add in the twilight. So that's important to understand that. Otherwise, you can always reset it to the original. It goes back right to the original if you want to reset that to the original. Now, once we're done, let's just say we're sort of happy with those images. The last stage in Renoscope is the report. The report's quite important because it generates an entire summary of all the different stats, all the different findings from the actual scope or for this particular investment project, renovation project. And when I press generate report, and it just takes a few seconds to basically analyze everything, and there it is. There, as I said, it takes a little time, but it's done. So the first area of the report are the images. It's sort of got time of day, declutter, and so basically it's got a little sort of just summary of what the photos are. There's got an executive summary. Photo, it's got a property overview, financial analysis, neighborhood score, and again, it's just nicely plotted it all out for you. It's pretty much just a general summary. Risk assessment, you've got a 6 out of 10, which is quite good. It's sort of telling you things like over capitalization, with only 20K budget and you miss allocated spend materially reduces margin, so it sort of goes through a lot of different. So if anything, you can get a lot of different tips and advice out of this report. Again, there's a lot of estimates here. Don't use it as the ultimate sort of source that you're going to be using for this purchase, but the point is, it's going to give you a bit more information than what you didn't have before. Okay. You've got a conclusion there. You've got some recommendations as well. So, negotiate the purchase price down where possible, even if 10 to 20K reduction materially improves your net return, which is true. A lot of things there to consider. But anyway, either way, that's your property report.